Asthma is common among Australians. In fact, you probably know someone with asthma. While we don't know the exact cause of asthma, we do know what triggers it and how to control the symptoms. This means that most people with asthma can lead normal lives, as long as they manage their asthma well. Some people think if you have asthma, you can't do strenuous sport, but many famous athletes have done really well in sport despite having asthma. So what exactly is asthma? Let's see what happens inside normal lungs and what changes happen in people with asthma. When you take a breath, air travels into your lungs through air tubes called bronchi. As the air moves further and deeper into your lungs, these air tubes branch into smaller and smaller tubes, which eventually end in little balloons called alveoli. But in people with asthma, their air tubes are overly sensitive or twitchy. When exposed to triggers, the body's immune system produces a reaction, like an allergic reaction. The air tubes become swollen, red, and ooze out mucus. It's like the reaction people get after a bee sting, except that it's happening inside the lungs, because that's where the trigger particles have been inhaled. When this happens, the air tubes become narrow, and it's difficult for air to get in and out. A person with asthma feels like their chest is tightening, and it's hard for them to take a deep breath. They might also begin to wheeze and cough. So the main symptoms of asthma are coughing, wheezing, and finding it hard to breathe. This means it's important for people with asthma to avoid the triggers which cause their air tubes to react like this. Different people can have different triggers. Some of the common ones are dust mites in the carpet, furniture, bedding and soft toys, exercise, pollens from flowers and trees, cigarette smoking, chemicals like perfumes, paints and nail polish remover, changes in the weather, infections like the common cold, and pets. Now you know what happens in the lungs of a person with asthma, as well as some of the common asthma triggers. Managing asthma is relatively simple. People with asthma can work with their doctor to find the right medications for them. Most asthma medications are available in the form of inhalers, which are cleverly designed to deliver medicine right into the air tubes. These asthma medications help keep the air tubes open and decrease the effects of asthma triggers. A doctor will prescribe the medications which are appropriate for a young person with asthma. Each individual asthma plan will depend on how often symptoms occur and how much the symptoms affect the person. If a young person is having very bad symptoms of asthma, for example while playing sport or after being exposed to another trigger, it's best to follow the emergency first aid plan. This is easy and it's called the 4x4x4 plan. It's worth knowing this because it could save someone's life. First, the person with asthma should be placed in a sitting position and given 4 puffs of their reliever medication with a spacer device, one at a time. If the asthma symptoms don't improve in 4 minutes, another 4 puffs of the reliever medication should be given and an ambulance should be called. While you wait for the ambulance, you can keep giving the reliever medication in the same way. So give 4 puffs every 4 minutes. When you see someone having a severe asthma attack, you can help to deliver first aid by following this simple 4x4x4 rule and calling for an ambulance if there's no improvement in symptoms. Breathing is something you do thousands of times a day and you don't give a second thought to it. For people with asthma, breathing easily is not something they take for granted. But people with asthma, like Maria and Nick, can lead completely normal lives by managing their asthma well. This means avoiding their triggers and using an asthma action plan to use their reliever and controller medications. We hope this DVD has helped you learn how to manage your own asthma better, or how to help someone else in an asthma emergency.